The movie begins in a post office. A group of people are waiting by the bus stop for the next transportation to arrive. Seconds after, a bus arrives and passengers get in, except for 3 people. An old man standing by the post and 2 women with their hair down are waiting for people to leave. The younger woman, who goes by the name Old Dolly O'Dine, inconspicuously enters the post office, making sure to not be seen by the cameras. Old Dolly O swipes a parcel inside the post office, and not long after, she and her 2 accomplices try to look for something that could be worth something, but all they manage to find in that parcel is a small stuffed teddy bear and a tie. It's clear that the family of con artists is struggling to hustle money however they can. As they walk down the street, the father stops, followed by the wife and his daughter. There seems to be constant tremors in their city, which is typical for the rest, but it is a completely different case for the family of 3. Not long after, they proceed to discuss what to do with the next victim they plan to scam. The old man tells his daughter to dress in a schoolgirl costume to pass off as a high school student who just found a valuable item owned by someone who is rich. She gets rewarded with a gift certificate for a massage and goes to the massage place, which she tries to exchange for random objects she thinks is worth more. Since it doesn't really work that way, the masseuse rejects her offer. As Old Dolly-O is about to leave because refunds aren't allowed, the masseuse wants to get the certificate back. Not wanting the gift certificate to go to waste, Old Dolly-O then lets the masseuse give her tense body a massage. Moments later, her parents come in to pick her up because she is taking too long. The family walks home empty-handed. They arrive in their apartment that is only a leaking office space attached to a soap factory. The trio always goes to their home before the scheduled time of the soap that'll leak through their walls. Their watches are always synced to alarm at those times. After they finish removing the soap suds from the walls, they leave again to hustle. They try to hide from the landlord Stovey, who owns the soap factory right next door, but they get caught because a young woman named Kelly has a job for them to do. The landlord proceeds to ask for what the family owes, which is $1,500 worth of back rent on their $500 per month rented place. The father tells Stovey they'll be paying him the next morning. The family of 3 walk out as Kelly continues to ask them to do a job for her. The trio ignore her, then Kelly offers to pay them $20. The sound of getting paid real money gets their attention, so the parents make Old Dolly-O do the job. Old Dolly-O is paid to attend a parenting seminar, pretending to be Kelly. All she needs to do is get the yellow slip and she can leave. But unfortunately, as she is about to get the yellow slip from one of the people who work there, the seminar is about to begin, so she has no choice but to stay throughout. She learns about the importance of breastfeeding from a video of a mother who had just given birth. That night, Old Dolly-O is able to win 2 business-class tickets to New York City, which can be replaced by 3 economy tickets if they wish to. She tells her mother about going away on a trip to New York City, just the 2 of them. A mother-daughter getaway. The mother doesn't say a word and walks away. The next morning, Stovey waits for the family outside of the factory next door as he collects the overdue rent. The couple gives him $20, money order, and the tie they stole from the parcel the other day. Stovey warns them they will get evicted. The family convinces the landlord to give them 2 more weeks to pay the rest of the money they owe him. They proceed to go back to the post office, but this time, Old Dolly-O fails to steal anything as she comes to learn a new camera is installed inside the room where she can steal, so the locks of the lockers have been changed. She tells her parents as they walk along the street. The father gets mad and tells Old Dolly-O about people wanting to become cajillionaires. Unable to come up with the money they need, Old Dolly-O concocts a scam in which they will need to fly to New York City using the tickets she won the night before. Her parents will take her luggage at the baggage claim, and Old Dolly-O will claim the airline has lost it. She will then collect on the travel insurance she purchased, which will be more than enough to cover their rent. The next day, they ride the plane together and experience turbulence during the flight. They feel scared and anxious. The father, feeling anxious, makes Old Dolly-O speak, who then begins to talk about breastfeeding. Her mother thinks she's pregnant and confirms that Old Dolly-O was placed in a cot when she was born. Upon leaving the airplane, they steal food, drinks, and other random things they can steal inside the airplane. Afterwards, they wait outside the airport as the parents eat the leftover meals they stole, while old Dolio stares into the distance. After an uneventful trip, old Dolio and her parents return home. She is seated in a different seat, away from her parents. As they experience another turbulence, old Dolio is surprised to find her parents, especially her father, chatting with Melanie, a friendly young woman in the seat next to them. Moments later, as Melanie gets hit on by a random guy, the parents believe that someone stole from them because they were distracted. Melanie proceeds to ask them what they do. Old Dolio is now even more surprised when her parents reveal their scam to Melanie. Inside the airport, as old Dolio pretends to be waiting for her bag, she watches her parents have Melanie pretend to be their daughter as they pick up the luggage. She is saddened by the scenario. Not long after, old Dolio reports her lost luggage to the customs and asks when it'll be possible to collect the travel insurance. Afterwards, old Dolio goes to a bar where she meets with the parents and Melanie. Upon arriving, she reveals to her parents that she reported her lost luggage, but tells them it could take several weeks for the check to come, so the family looks for alternative methods to get the money. Melanie proves to be surprisingly amenable to their way of life and tells the parents that she lied about being a physician's assistant and is actually a clerk at an eyeglass store. She tells them of a plan to visit some of her clients and try to steal some things they could sell. So she introduces the family to one of her elderly clients, from whom they steal a blank check. After they all leave the first client's home unexpectedly, they stay in a restaurant and the father plans to cash the check for $650 and have old Dolio forge the client's signature. Melanie is surprised by the actions of the family and is ready to leave when her nail breaks. Melanie watches in amazement as old Dolio handles her hand with so much grace. The next day, they proceed to the home of another one of Melanie's clients, who is bedridden. The father can't find the checkbook anywhere inside that home, so he makes old Dolio look for it in the client's room. Upon entering the second client's room, old Dolio finds that the client is dying and asks the family to pretend to be his family as he passes away. Old Dolio tells them, and they proceed to act. She watches as her parents pretend to be a real family, while Melanie plays the piano. Old Dolio is happy at the sight of her family being an actual family for the first time. A few moments later, old Dolio is ordered by her father to check on the client again. She goes and accompanies the client until his last dying breath. Afterwards, old Dolio goes out of the client's bedroom and is shaken by the experience. She is hurt when her parents rush to comfort Melanie while ignoring their daughter. Seeing as they need more time to look for anything to cash out, the father orders old Dolio to get home before the scheduled leak happens. Arriving home, old Dolio discovers the check for the insurance in the mail. Instead of doing the chore she is told to do, she leaves the place and goes back to the parenting seminar and gets the experience of being taken care of for the first time while doing a demonstration in front of the attendees. It is then revealed that old Dolio is emotionally stunted and doesn't know how to deal with emotions well. Meanwhile, old Dolio's parents try to initiate a threesome with Melanie, but she reacts badly. They are interrupted by old Dolio, who is heartbroken to hear her mother call Melanie Hon and offers her mother the entire travel insurance money to do the same to her. Old Dolio's mother refuses, but Melanie accepts old Dolio's offer and takes her to her apartment. They cash the check out the next day, rather than simply call old Dolio Hon and fulfilling the only thing old Dolio asked. Melanie offers a full-service treatment, fulfilling emotional needs that old Dolio's parents failed to meet. A few days later, old Dolio's parents turn up at Melanie's apartment not long after, telling old Dolio they love and miss her. After they leave the front door, they surprise old Dolio with 17 birthday presents, promising the 18th one at dinner the following night. Old Dolio and Melanie attend the dinner even though they think it's another scam. So, they decide to hide the insurance money in the fuse box of her apartment, just to be safe. At the restaurant, old Dolio's parents give her a necklace as another gift. The mother tells them that all the gifts are refundable. Afterwards, the father makes an emotional speech, and the parents both swear they will change. Melanie, on the other hand, doesn't believe this and thinks that it is all just a bunch of concocted lies to get old Dolio back and to continue to have her be in manipulative relationship with her con artist parents. They treat her as an accomplice to their petty thefts and scams, rather than as a daughter. They return to Melanie's apartment and tuck old Dollio into bed and leave afterwards. Melanie is about to check the hidden money inside the fuse box, but first tells old Dollio that if her parents have stolen the money, they are monsters and everything that happened that night is all a lie, while old Dollio says if the money is still there, it is proof her parents have changed. As Melanie is about to open the fuse box, old Dollio also comes up with a third possibility, that her parents will have left behind $525, her third of the cash, signifying that they love her but will never ever be able to offer her anything more. To Melanie and old Dollio's surprise, the cash is all there. The following morning, Melanie and old Dollio wake up to find that Melanie has been robbed. All removable objects and furnishings, including the cash hidden in the fuse box, are gone. The only things left are old Dollio's 17 presents. Old Dollio tries to hold Melanie as Melanie tries to put her face closer to hers, leaning in for a kiss, but old Dollio refuses this and leans away. The movie ends inside a department store. Realizing that the gifts given to old Dollio from her parents are refundable, she and Melanie take them to be returned. The total price of the items is $485.50. Melanie suddenly realizes they forgot to return old Dollio's necklace, bringing the total to $525, old Dollio's share of the insurance money. Melanie goes to put her face closer to old Dollio and leans in for a kiss. She kisses Melanie back, and they begin to make out inside the store. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like. It really helps the channel foreign.